What's going on, guys? Savage here. Today's video will be breaking down a viewer submitted solo gameplay. If you guys would like to have your gameplay analyzed here on the channel, make sure you join our Discord community and follow the steps in the description to send your video to me. But the purpose of this series is to put you guys in the position of these players as we cover the mistakes they may be making or the enemies they encounter. And again, the goal of this is to enlighten you guys on common mistakes that most players make so you can go out into Verdansk and secure more kills consistently and more wins consistently. But if you enjoy the content, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel today. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the video. All right, here we are right off the bat, one less Prius landing on a bounty almost instantly. Now, I will say, be very hesitant on how fast you land on the bounties. If you guys instantly fall to the ground and you pick up a bounty 9 times out of 10, it will mark a player that's halfway across the map or a player that's close by that's still in the air that will eventually travel halfway across the map. So just kind of time it perfectly and let's see what happens. We happen to go ahead and get lucky. Got an enemy right next to us. Coming right to us, bunny hopping around like it's Fortnite. Unfortunately, all we have is a Diamante with this big ass scope on it. And he's inside. We got another one landing on top of us right now. It's a little bit hot right here. Dang it. This guy stole our kill instantly, and we go ahead and take him out. So far off the bat, we got the bounty. It did mark a player next to us, and he was poached. Another beautiful thing about bounties is even if you can't get the kill, someone else might, and you can get some free money, which is exactly what happened for us. Not too bad of a start. Unfortunately, the lobby's dying relatively fast. We've only been in the match for 2.5 minutes, and we're already down 50 players. And again, the aggressive gameplay and people dying off are usually players that land on the opposite side of the map. Your hangars area, your source town area, places like that. Farmland's not usually too hot, and you can usually expect slower gameplay from this area. Oh, we got an enemy right next to us. We go ahead and take him out. All right, now while we got the advanced up, let's go ahead and pull up our map and kind of analyze where everyone's at. And again, if you want to play aggressive, play aggressive. Go to where most of the players are at. But if you want to play passive, that's fine too. Advanced UAVs can be useful in finding out where you want to avoid. It hurts me to even say that, but I know there's a lot of you guys that enjoy slower gameplay. All right, there we go. We got a lot of action. We can cut through lumber, clean up those guys, and we got more even towards salt mines. Let's go ahead and get our loadout, and I would like to see us step it up a little bit, get a little aggressive with it. Now, I will say I'm not a huge fan of the fact that we used our UAV in that situation just for the sole fact that we knew the player was right there. We heard his audio, and it was an easy 1v1. I don't think it was wasted. I think we just could have held on to it just for a little bit longer because by the time we make it to Lumberyard, these guys are already going to be gone. All right, right here again, kind of work on your decision making time and just kind of again pop it up, instantly know where you want to go and put it away. We knew it right off the bat when I saw what was on the advanced UAV where I wanted to go. Took you a little long, but again, that just comes with practice and trying to work on your decision making skills. Also, simple decisions like this are crucial to make because if you're slow at making these kind of decisions when it comes to immediate gunfights and you're literally having to decide which side of the cover to use, whether you should B-hop or not, it's going to be very important to make these decisions quickly on the fly. All right, this guy's in the building, so I would go ahead and just aggressively push. There's really no reason to crouch walk in this situation. If we would have pushed a little bit closer to him, we probably could have got this kill, but unfortunately he's going to drive off relatively safely, and there's really nothing we can do. And a lot of players like to think to themselves that crouch walking is a good tactic. I don't want the enemy to hear me because then he'll shoot at me, but screw it, man. It doesn't hurt to let the enemy know you're there. Just push into the building and take him out. Close that gap, get close to him so that when he did cross out in the open, we could have literally shit down his throat before he even got to the vehicle. So unfortunately, we did lose out on 1 kill so far. By the way, Prius, I love your name. We know there's 2 more enemies to the 120. And in a position like this, you got to commit whether you want to fight or you want to bail out and loot, or bail out and go somewhere else on the map that's being pinged. We have one ping right here, and we have another ping over here. So we could bail out of this and go that way since we know where enemies are at. I'm not for that. I say find out where these guys are at and push them. Now, the problem with what we're doing is we're waiting too long for the enemy to make a mistake. The enemy may be playing just like we are. They may be posted up in a building, and we won't know because we're not close enough to actually hear the audio of their footsteps or gunfire. So with saying that, make sure you travel from where you're at to the buildings, utilizing cover, keeping yourself safe. So if you do get shot at, you can bounce behind cover to protect you, right? But the goal is to close the gap so you can hear the audio and try to figure out where the enemies are exactly. Already down to 78 enemies. Another reason why I'm not a huge fan of solos. I feel like, dude, people die so fast in solos, man. All right, in a position like this too, if you're just not sure of what to do, where to go, where an enemy's at, or you're just lacking confidence on pushing the buildings over here, just go get on the bike, go somewhere where there's a bounty and just pick that up. There's no shame in leaving an area just because you don't feel safe. I don't blame you for not feeling safe. There's a lot of hiding spots. These buildings right here are a pain in the ass to push. And also, players love to sit behind doors and wait for other players to come through. That way they can shoot them in the back. All right, good spot. Glad he didn't shoot. Let's go ahead and get a better position and shoot this enemy. He's going to be crossing in the open, so we should be able to catch him as long as we work ourselves over there quickly. Here's footsteps. He's right on the other side. 305. Possibly. Yep, there he is. Good stun, and oh, never mind. Hit the tree and bounce back. Damn. Go ahead and push him. He's running. All right, right now the fear has set in, and unfortunately, we're just kind of succumbing to the fear right now. We need to be rotating again, closing the gap on this enemy. He is just as scared as you are. You can see it because the moment he threw the stun, he stopped going the direction he wanted to go and he turned to the right. So here we are again, possibly missing out on the second kill. Again, the problem is the moment we saw he was just going to run away, instead of ego challenging us, I knew instantly he's not going to be much of a challenge. So go ahead and push. Sitting here not really knowing what to do just allows the enemy to run away. There's another guy over there. I don't think that's the same player though. But there is a guy to our right hand side that is on the hills, and because of our slow decision making and our lack of aggression, oh my god, that man's gonna get away and buy his loadout. And again, right now in this position, I'm terrified because we have the guy on the hill to our right hand side that I spotted. My camera may have been in the way, but there was a guy a little bit further to the right that was on the hill. So while we're fighting this guy, we could get third party. So again, close the gap, play the rock, play the train, push this guy and shit down his throat. All right, we go ahead and get the kill. Not sure why the enemy just stood there while we were bursting him, but he did. It is what it is. Again, guys, once your plays get broken, make it a habit to dive off to the right or the left and get behind cover so you can replay it up. It's crazy how many players we watch in a gunfight whose armor will break and they'll just stand there and keep shooting their gun. Stop. Instantly just break off, get safe, and play it up. Stop giving enemies free kills. So we were able to get that kill, so still we've only lost out on one kill so far. And again, we know the player is over to the right-hand side. Granted, he's probably rotated by now, or he's pushing us, so just be ready for that. If he is an aggressive player, he will be pushing you. But I'm going to go ahead and assume he's not an aggressive player because that was a long fight. And for him not to instantly kill us, I'm pretty sure he's gone towards Firehouse or Quarry or somewhere. Okay, clearing the right-hand side. He definitely remembers that the enemy's over there. Also, I want to see you lift up your reticle a little bit. When you guys are walking throughout Verdansk or any game that you're playing that's a shooter, make sure your reticle is lined up with the horizon. It's less micro corrections you're gonna have to make when you need to snap onto an enemy. Instead of pulling up and then going left and right, all you gotta do is go left and right, and it's extremely easier to do. And just to decrease the amount of time it's taking you to get from one area to another, again, just utilize vehicles. There's a bike over there. It's not a big deal because it's not that much further away, but grab the bike, go to the buy station. That way you can use the bike to go to your next spot instead of walking back on foot. You really want to try to decrease the amount of time you're wasting in a match from anything between buying in a buy station, getting your loadout and picking which one you want, gunfights, rotations. You guys need to start minimizing every ounce of time that you can. There's an enemy right there. And again, if we had the bike, we could literally just go challenge him right now, but it's going to take us a little bit to walk over there. By the time we get there, he may be dead or he may be at that vehicle and gone. So it could be possibly another enemy we lose out on a kill with.
Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply.
All right, scanning around, still kind of a dangerous spot because we don't have much cover.
Enemy UAV overhead.
And now it looks like we're going to be working our way to downtown. Possibly. Here's an enemy on the bike. This could be easy beams. He's just kind of sitting there. Don't let him get to the Bertha. All right, he hopped off the bike. So this is another option where I would close the gap. I would just push this train car using the trees. And again, try to close the gap to get some close range shots off. I can see you're struggling with your accuracy right now with this gun. I'd like to see you start utilizing your secondary so you can go in and get closer to the enemy and be a little bit more accurate. The closer you are usually translates to a little bit better accuracy because you're basically point blank with the enemy. So if you're having trouble using a weapon at a certain distance, try your best to close the gap. Also, I really wouldn't have gone prone right there just to pop the reload. Again, you want to keep your eyes on the prize. Make sure he's not out rotating you. And the enemy plates up, gets back on the bike. Oh, can we get it? I think we might be able to. Let's go. Don't know what he did there. Looked like he hit the sign and kind of bounced off like a pinball. That was worked out. It really worked out. But if that player would have been a little bit better of a driver, he would have made it off, and we would have lost out on our second kill. Now, I will say I think we've spent a little too much time here. It may work out, but I again would like to see some bounties getting picked up or some objectives. In this sense here, I don't really know if we have an idea of what we want to do. We're kind of just running around hoping that we run into an enemy. And it's not really what you want to do in Warzone. You want to go to where you think enemies are going to be at instead of just kind of circling around, running the open, waiting to get shot. Another example, if that enemy would have had good aim and accuracy because of how exposed we were, he would have killed us and we wouldn't be here continuing this match. All right, a little bit waste of a stun grenade. We should have just challenged them and got the kill, but I can't hate on it. At least we have stuns and not a baby monitor. I'll give you that, my dude. I don't know if that was the player that was in the window, but I'm going to go ahead and assume it was. So props to the enemy for at least trying to get out there and push us. All right, there's a bounty next to us. Hopefully we grab that and we start playing a little bit more aggressive. And mostly not even to play aggressive, just to get us out of the spot. Oh God, don't pick it up. Don't pick up the most wanted, brother. There we go. We got another enemy that looks to be on our side of the ravine anyway. So we're going to be able to stay in this area. Going to the buy station, I'm assuming to buy a self-res, maybe a UAV, which would be a good combo to buy. Or if you don't want to use a self-res because you haven't been to Gulag yet, buy a UAV, call it in, and hold on to the second one. That's the play I would do. And that's the play my dude's going to do. All right, one less Prius going to get out here, play a little bit more aggressive. Now you can see by the mini map, it looks to be like there's 3 enemies. You have the ping of the bounty, and then you have 2 more pings, one in the ravine and one further south towards the port. All right, the enemy could challenge us right now. This is kind of a scary spot to be in because the enemy peeks this hill up when we're out in the open. It's going to be a hard fight for us to win. Now look, let's go ahead and push the enemy right now. They're literally fighting the third-party situation going on right here. Let's go ahead and capitalize on this and stop allowing the enemies to kill each other off. Unfortunately, we lost out on 1 kill. I wouldn't really hold it against you because they killed each other relatively fast with that C4. But still, situations like this, when you see an enemy and you see another enemy coming to them, instantly push it and try to take advantage of it and hopefully profit on 2 kills. There's homeboy camping the gas station, sitting here trying to buy a Snickers bar, but the register's not working. Let's go make sure we can help him out real quick. Now, players like this guy right here, this is exactly what I want you guys to never do. Never, ever sit in a building for more than a few minutes. I wouldn't even say sit in a building for more than a minute. Unless you've got a great position with a great circle and you're just focused on the win, that's a different story. But if you're nowhere near a good position, if you're just sitting in the building randomly, stop doing this because you will never get better playing like this. Because again, when it comes to a 1v1 fight, if you lack experience in a 1v1 fights, you're gonna die. Even if you're sitting here holding the angle. He's in the back room just sitting there doing God knows what. Oh, weird! Look at that! Oh my God. He's sitting there so mad right now, wondering how do I get better at Warzone? We got a vehicle coming to us. He's noticed the pings on the mini map, I'm assuming, and now he's gonna push up on us. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Run out. Yeah, run out and challenge the enemy. He parked the vehicle literally in the worst spot. If I was this player on the motorcycle and I was pushing because I heard gunshots, I'm gonna pull up to the building and I'm gonna jump in there and instantly start destroying players. But instead, he parks a little bit further away, has to travel on foot out in the open, and we're able to come out the left-hand side of the building and take him out. Bad play on his part, but it worked out for us. Now we're sitting on $17,000. We got an enemy soldier coming in, probably for his loadout, or his loot, I should say. I don't hear any footsteps right now. Now he could be floating in the sky, waiting to see if he sees us, and then maybe diverting away. The motorcycle sounds like shit, boy. All right, we got what we need. It's time to get out. Now, I understand you want to kind of bait the enemy to stuff, but in this position here, I would think if he is committing to this location, he's going to be floating still. So I'm going to get on the rooftop of the gas station, look around, and see if I can shoot him out of the sky. All right, now look, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys to buy an advanced UAV. Now, there was a comment in my video the other day, and I'm not hating. I love to see back and forth with different strategies. I want you guys to always challenge me on the shit that I say, so we can kind of go back and forth with it. But I want to say advanced UAV in this situation. Now, a lot of people are like, that's crazy. Players near you don't show up, this and that, ghosts, blah, blah, blah. But look, if we have this much excess of money, go ahead and buy an advanced UAV and get it up in the air. And again, the purpose of advanced UAVs isn't to tell you who's close. It's to show you a good route to take, right? Advanced UAVs, players just think, oh, I'm gonna call up an advanced UAV and I'm instantly gonna go out and get all these kills. That's not the case at all. It's to pre-plan your rotation and who you're gonna push and how you're gonna push and where you're gonna push, right? So if you pull the map up and you see all these blips from advanced UAV and there's no one near you, that's okay. Because all you gotta do is say, where's the biggest cluster of players if I wanna get some kills? Oh, they're over there towards Quarry? Well, maybe I should start making my way to Quarry. And now you know where to go to get these kills, as opposed to if you just would have bought a UAV and it was just kind of scanning where we're at towards farmland and never reached over there. So again, guys, fancy UAVs are not something that I think is a must, but if you have an excess of money, why not? All right, we've got a UAV up. We got an enemy sitting on the hilltop over to the 10. Now, I think that's where we ended up killing the player that got the C4 kill on the vehicle. He's gonna have high ground. Hopefully we can catch him out in the open instead of vice versa. He's on our level now. You can tell by the UAV, and he's sitting behind a tree. Oh, you hate to see it, man. Sitting crouched behind a tree, just staring at nothing. There's no reason for him to be staring that direction at all. Another player jumping off. This is just bad timing. No. All right, we're out in the open. We need to break the cover because the enemy tries to peek us. He's gonna have a huge advantage.
UAV entering the AO.
Not a huge fan of using the UAV in this situation here. We didn't spot this enemy on the first UAV, so I would automatically have imagined that he probably had Ghost on. Good hit. Switching to our Bullfrog and go ahead and push in and get this kill. Lol. I don't know where he's at. I'm gonna be honest. I'm so confused. Oh, look, there he is. Okay. Okay. Another situation. We have an enemy sitting crouched, just watching an area. Guys, look, you've got to keep your body near cover. Stop just sitting crouched in the open, expecting to outshoot the enemy, because most of the time you're not going to. Like this situation right here, there's no reason he should have been outshot by us. He's staring at us. He started shooting first, but again, because of lack of know-how and lack of experience, he misses most of his bullets, and we're able to absolutely blow through this dude. He barely cracked our armor. If you have a drop on an enemy, you start shooting him first and you lose that gunfight, you really need to start analyzing your gameplay and figuring out what you need to change. Your sensitivity, your ADS sensitivity, your strategy, the way you play the game in general, and the list goes on.
Get recon on my location.
Another enemy camping in a building nearby. Let's go ahead. Oh, he's camping up top. Sick. Now look, this is another issue that I have. I don't know why any player would ever go up here. Now people will think to themselves, well, Savage, he's gatekeeping. He's on the edge of the circle. Look, dude, downtown's got to come to him. Well, if you've got any enemy downtown that at least has used a sniper once or twice, you're going to get picked. You're very vulnerable sitting up here. It's not a good strategy. It's not a good point of interest. It's not good anything. I'm not a huge fan of this at all. Especially in duos, trios, or quads. If you're up there by yourself, you get knocked, it's going to be impossible for your teammate to go up there and get you. He's trying to debate whether or not he needs to go push that. Don't push it. Let it go. Kill him when he's vulnerable. Let someone else kill him. Focus on other enemies. I wouldn't even waste my time with this thing. I really wouldn't. Enemy jumping out of the vehicle. Now they're to fight. This is the moment I was talking about right here. Oh, he bounces back to cover, unfortunately.
Setting rally point.
UAV entering the AO.
Those closing fast. Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Enemy floating above us here. He's going back to his loadout. Let's go ahead and get this kill. Oh, we get the armor break, bounce around, and hopefully finish him off. He's making a run for it, bro. He's terrified right now. You got to keep pushing, keep pushing. Look, the moment that we saw this player start heading left after we shot him, and then the bleeps kept confirming that he was going to move more to the left, I'm going to go ahead and lead him to the left, to the west, right? Because that's the direction he's going. Now, it's not always going to work, but most of the time, players usually, if they start running in a direction, they're going to keep going that way because there's a method to their madness. And here he is right here. Unfortunately, because we didn't lead the enemy, we're going to lose out on this kill, possibly. Another guy bailing in on top of us, too. It's a little bit of a cluster right here. If we would have let the enemy's situation just went ahead and went west with him, we could have killed him before he made it to the train cart. So now we have pissed off two enemies and we didn't get the kill on. And they both know where we're at. We got to be careful too. We're sitting here staring at the guys up here, and yes, a vehicle drove off, but it could be a whole different enemy. We don't know. I'm still concerned that there's another enemy over here. So don't leave your entire left-hand side vulnerable. Yeah, I'd use a cluster on this. Why not, bro? Get him out of there. Might get him, it might not. Who knows? We'll see. This is dangerous sitting here just super tunnel vision on this. I do not like this play at all. The cluster literally didn't hit a single... It didn't hit that platform a single time. Damn. You hate to see it, bro. Also, guys, precisions are way better in clusters. I don't ever waste your money on clusters for that reason right there. We launched it at the actual platform and it never hit it one time. Again, we're focused on this building a little too much. We have 11 kills, so we're not too bad. I don't want to hype you up and get you too overly aggressive right now because of the circle. It's in game, it's a small circle, and it's pretty easy to rotate on the circle no matter where the next one goes to. So don't get too aggressive. I like your slower gameplay, but again, I'd be scanning around to my south, to my east, to my north, more than being super focused on the platform to the west. Also with the bounty, we could pick up the bounty and hopefully it'll ping somebody. It's so late in the game, it might not, but that's completely up to you. Kind of risky going out there trying to get it, but I think it's possible. We have a lot of cover with the fence and these buildings and these crates and the wood. It wouldn't be an impossible task to push. Now, there's 9 enemies left. There may be a player in here. Yeah, weird. And that's what I was going to say is as we're getting close to buildings, whenever I start approaching a building that I expect players to be in, I'm going to whip out my close range weapon, right? Whip out that bullfrog and go in there. We know he's there. Don't let it suppress. Yeah, there we go. I'm about to say, don't let it scare you and make you second guess your push. I love the fact that we went in there, we used dead silence, and we shit on his throat. Get that bounty real quick. There we go. All right, we got lucky. Went ahead and pinged it out. So now we know where 2 enemies are at. We know where 2 of the last 6 enemies are at. We've got the bounty who actually just got poached. Never mind. But we did get free money. The enemy bailed out of the vehicle. Let's go ahead and push him right now. He's going to be making his way to the buy station for whatever the reason is. Let's go ahead and push the enemy and get the kill. Guy on the platform still just causing us a huge pain in the ass. Instead of going for the push, we're going to fall back. It's not a bad play. It's probably the smarter decision. I would have gone ahead and challenged the guy at the buy station so I can go ahead and spend my money.
Enemy UAV overhead.
I'd like to see us kill this dude, but we got to be careful because he does have a sniper. Now, being center of the circle, being at gas station with it center of the circle is a very dangerous thing to be in, right? Because you're going to have a lot of enemies trying to collapse. So I like the fact that we're trying to rotate out of that area, change our position, and play the edge. I'm never a fan of playing the edge beginning and mid game, but when it comes to late game, I'm a huge fan of it because you know your entire backside is going to be protected by the gas, and all you have to worry about is what's in front of you.
Gas is inbound.
When you start playing the middle of the in-game situations, you're going to find yourself being third, fourth, and fifth partied a lot. Wouldn't worry about this guy up here. Really wouldn't. I'd be more worried about who is over to our northeast. We got players over to the right-hand side. This may be the guy that poached our bounty. Enemy on the right-hand side. You just saw him peek the fence. Yep, that's where he was at. So now we know there's an enemy over here to our south, and we know there's an enemy over to our west. So we know where two enemies are. All we got to do is account for two more. Now, saying that, we actually also know there's an enemy over here too because we heard him shooting when we were trying to push out. So we know where three of the four enemies are. I'm gonna go ahead and assume the last enemy is probably over here. So we're literally playing four corners, and again, we're centered. So we got to play this very carefully. This is a position I do not like to be in. If I was here, I would try my best to push over here and kill this asshole so I can go ahead and again protect my backside with the gas and only have to worry about what's in front of me. Because as we're looking to the 88, we could get clapped from the right-hand side or the backhand side. The only thing protected right now is our left-hand side. Getting really nervous right here.
Gas is inbound.
And again, I can understand the fear and wanting to lay prone because you are vulnerable, but if you're going to commit to the rooftop, make sure you're just peeking it. Don't allow enemies, once again, to collapse on your position. Catch them while they're in the open. Catch them as they're having to rotate with no cover. But make sure you're moving around a lot. Don't just sit here because, again, Kar 98, Swiss, any kind of sniper, any kind of beamy gun at all, it's going to be very, very, very easy for them to get a nice little headshot on you. There he is right there on minimap. Go ahead and take him out. We know exactly where he is. Again, line up your arrow with where he is. Aim in and see if you can spot him because I guarantee you if you did, you could see him. He's in the trees. So right here is exactly where he's at. So I'm going to imagine he's somewhere in this area. Shots to the right. There he is out in the open. We're able to go ahead and get the knock and hopefully I was about to say I wouldn't leave the high ground to go push that. He's going to die regardless. What are you doing, brother? There you go. All right, we got some more gunshots over here to our 260. We know exactly where he's at. Let's go ahead and blitz him down again out in the open. He lays prone. We do have a sticky though. Look, in this position here, if you have an enemy laying prone, just hiding, and you need to get him out of his cover so you can shit on him, throw the sticky right over here. Throw the sticky right there, force him out, and then get the kill. Never mind. This guy's do the same thing. What is going on? Both of these players hitting prone at the very last second. Very questionable, but it works out for us. GG. Priest, brother, thank you for submitting the gameplay for us to analyze on the channel. I really hope that these tips can help you get out there, get a little bit more confident with your gunfights. Now, a couple things I want to see you work on. Your accuracy, especially with this gun. I don't know in general, but with this weapon, it definitely needs some work at medium and long range. I'd recommend loading up in a plunder or some bots and getting some regular practice with it so you can control it. If for some reason this weapon just isn't for you, try whipping out another weapon and see if it operates better. Just because a gun is a meta doesn't mean it's right for you. There are plenty of meta weapons that I don't use just because I don't prefer it. The Swiss, I can't shoot the Swiss to save my life, but I can whip a Kar 98 like it's nobody's business. It is just what it is. Also, decision making. You just need to speed up your decision making a little bit better and try to work on not staying in the same place for too long. You did win the game, so huge congrats in there. But again, I like to see you get out there, get a little bit more fights. We had 14 kills in that game, I believe. Was it 14? We had 14 kills in that game. We lost out on 2 that we know of, and we could have probably gotten like 5 or 6 more if we would have been third partying these guys at the end of the game that were actually shooting each other. With small, minute corrections that we've mentioned throughout this entire video, Prius, I do believe you can drop a 20 bomb relatively easy. But guys, I really hope you enjoy the content. If you're finding yourself making these same mistakes, please let me know in the comment section below if these tips helped you out at all. But until next time, you have a good one and good luck in Warzone.